Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Wife for Life with none other than your favorite marriage specialist, Michelle McElroy. And I want to tell y'all today, this episode is going to be fire. I'm just telling you in advance because Briante is the epitome of fire. She is all that and a bag of chips, y'all. She is bout it. She is boss power. I love her energy and her flow. And she is so much more. I'm not going to tell y'all all of who
Oh,
she is.
thank
I'm
you.
That's right, girl. That's you. That's you, boo, and this some. I don't have
Thank
enough
you,
time to keep
Michelle.
going. But since I know about you, I'm definitely gonna have you tell about you. But y'all,
Okay.
help me welcome Briante Wells.
Hi.
Yay! Woo, 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 woo. We're gonna go back to
Oh, thank
the
you. I love that.
Yes, ma'am. So Briante, tell everybody about you.
Hey, thank you so much first for having me on your show, Michelle. Listen, I've been waiting to come on the Wife for Life podcast, okay? But so
Go.
I'm Briante Wells. I am engaged to retired Laurence Maroney. He played for the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos. We've been together for about 8 years now. We're soon to be married next May. So we're
Woo!
pretty excited about that. Um, Lawrence is now into real estate, and so that's something that we both kind of bonded over and what we shared our interest in. That's really what brought us together. So we both are big within the real estate world. We're real estate investors. I am also a realtor, and I have a company with my business partner. We have the real estate matchmakers out here in St. Louis, Missouri, which we're expanding, and
Ooh.
so we're wanting more agents to who want to be a part of our team and serve in different states as well. So we're definitely looking forward to our reach with that, as well as we're Lawrence and I are emerging developers now. We're getting into the developing side of things out here in St. Louis, Missouri. There's a lot of big projects going on. So we have our hands full with that, as well as we run a nonprofit organization called LM39 Foundation,
Yes.
which is like our baby of the family right now, because that's we spend so much time into that LM39 Foundation. We basically are for athlete mental, physical, and financial well-being, because so many times these athletes, they get into this professional lifestyle and then they forget what really matters up here. They
Yeah.
forget and don't have the proper guidance what to do with their coins.
Mm. Mm.
And they forget and then they just don't have the proper knowledge and just on the emotional side of things. So we just want to kind of bring all of that. It started with us kind of catering to the youth, but now we're more so just athletes in general and their families, because what we're finding is that it carries over into their adulthood,
Yeah.
into their retired life
Yeah.
and beyond. You know what I'm saying? And so we've been really focused on that and just growing our foundation, growing our real estate company, our real estate brand, and continuing to be all about our family. Like that's the biggest thing right now, is we're so family focused with everything that we do.
Yeah.
Um, as well as myself, I have my hands full
Oh.
just on my own. I am the market. Am I still on?
You're freezing. Let's pause for a second. Okay. Um, and let me write this down, 721. And then let's say start back up at in 5 seconds.
Okay.
3, 2, go.
Okay. So we're just super big with our family right now. So everything that we do, we're super family oriented in all aspects of life, with our real estate career, with our foundation, as well as with myself. I am the marketing chair for the National Football Wives Association.
Woo-hoo!
So yes, me and Michelle,
That's right. That's
that's my
right.
girl.
That's
And
my girl.
so yes. And so we have our hands full with that, being a part of a wonderful organization, a sisterhood. And so it's brought about a lot of opportunities, a lot of shared experiences. And so I'm super grateful for the girls. I'm super grateful for Michelle, y'all. She talked about us, but she is that. Okay.
How about
So
them? I
yes.
can down to the queen.
So yep. And
Thank
so
you.
that's pretty much I feel like I'm checking all the boxes because we got our hands full. I know I do. So
Girl, for
on
sure
top
you
of
get your hands full.
listen, on top of just being the house manager, because you know us women, we do it all.
That's what we do. That's what
So
we do. I always say we are like the nucleus of the home. All things come
yes.
processed through us.
Yeah,
So yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, and I love how you do it. You do it well, and I
Thank you.
love your authenticity when it comes to your social media branding. And we're going to talk some more about that in a little bit.
Okay.
But I want to know, Ray and I love the how people met story, and
Hmm.
so I gotta know. I need the viewers to know because I enjoyed y'all story how you guys met and became a couple.
Okay, so we met through mutual friends.
Mhm.
When I met Lawrence,
Hold up. Okay. And let's give it a few beats. 5, 4, 3, 2.
so I had been single for about a year and a half when we met, and we met through mutual friends of ours. So I would just go over my friend's house sometimes when my son would go with his dad, because we share custody. And so when I would go to my friend's house, she was in a new relationship. So I don't know if her boyfriend just was tired of me coming over there hanging out with them or what it was. I don't know. But he told me that he had a friend and he showed me a picture. Now, mind you, Lawrence was a super flashy guy.
Okay.
Clearly, he from coming from the NFL, he was young and he just wanted to be flashy. I was not into flashy. So the
Mm.
picture he showed me, Lawrence was like flashy from head to toe. I told him, no, I said, not interested. I didn't know who he was at the time, didn't know nothing about this whole NFL. I didn't know any of that, right? And
Yeah.
so he ended up popping up anyway. Lawrence ended up popping up to the house anyway.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, right. And so I'm like telling my friend, why did your guy still invite him? So me and my friend, we in the kitchen, Lawrence and his friend, they in the living room. I never went to talk to him because I'm like, I told him I was not interested. So we're separated for like hours. Finally, as we're all wrapping up to go, my friend is like, come on, let's go in there with them. So they not feeling, no kind of way. So I go in there. My posture is like this though to Lawrence. He's back here. And I'm like not showing no interest. And
Yeah.
so my friend's boyfriend at the time, he knew what me and Lawrence had in common the whole time though, right? So he
Mhm.
started talking about things that he knew me and Lawrence both had in common, like real estate was one of them.
Uh-huh.
And so as he started talking about it, oh, mind you, I didn't tell you, when Lawrence walked in, this is his first impression. He walked in, he has locks too. His locks was rough looking. He had a mouth full of gold, and he had on like basketball attire, like just basketball shorts, a t-shirt or whatever. So I was like, no, he's giving me all the hood boy vibes. Like I ain't been there, done that. Like I'm
Got
not
you.
for it. And so as now when we're talking, they're talking about real estate. Lawrence opened his mouth to talk about like things that he's doing in the real estate.
Mhm.
He piqued my interest because I'm like, hold on, he got some smarts about himself. So he's not
Yeah.
just like no typical hood boy,
Okay.
right? So he's talking about the real estate. So now my body posture is like this. Like I opened up.
Right, right.
I opened up and so we're talking. I'm thinking we flowing, it's going good. We getting to know each other, whatever, and we talking about real estate. The night ends, he walks me to my car. In my head, I'm like, okay, I know he finna ask for my number, so just come on with it.
Right.
He says, all right, sweetheart, have a good night, and keep on walking. And then
No, he
and
didn't.
he did. Yes, girl. I was like, no, he did not. Just like I felt played a little bit because it's like, what was your
That's
purpose?
her game. Tell him quick.
Yeah, right. And so I called my friend. I said, girl, do you know he did not ask me for my number? So I'm like, okay, whatever. I ain't gonna see him no more.
Mhm.
And so now here comes like 2 weeks from then, I'm at my friend's house again.
Mhm.
He randomly pops up again. And I'm like, okay, this time they having like a kickback at their house. Mind you, her guy at the time, his he had another friend that was interested in me. So
Okay.
we having like a karaoke night. We're just vibing. Lawrence is there again. Remember, but this time he came. Michelle, hair done, looking nice. He
Yeah.
was smelling nice, like everything. And
Mhm.
so now I'm interested because I'm like, you played me last time, so what's up? Like,
Right. And you
But
clean up well.
and you cleaned up good, yeah. So
That
the whole
part.
time, right? And so the
Mhm.
whole time we're karaoke and stuff. The other guy who was interested in me, he's behind me. Lawrence is in front of me. The guy is like trying to sing and serenade me and like run his fingers through my hair. He all like do 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 do, like trying to really
You
like
didn't tell me this part.
he's really trying to like get my attention. The whole time I'm just looking up at Lawrence like like
Safety.
yes. And so after that night, as we're walking to the car again, this time he's like, "Can I get your number? Like, I like to go on a date with you or whatever." And so we exchanged numbers. We actually started going on dates. Like I hadn't been on an actual date in a while because these guys these days they don't know how to date no more. Like actually ask to go on a date.
Yeah.
So I was really thrown off that he asked that because I didn't take him as that guy. So we started hanging out and we were like locked in immediately.
Mm.
So month one goes by, we already like going on trips to it was like our first trip was to Chicago.
Oh,
We took a trip out to Chicago, right?
yeah. Hot town.
Second trip, right? We're like 3 months in. We're not official. We're just still just like hanging out, having fun.
Mhm.
We go to Vegas. Vegas is where our baby boy LJ, that's where he was conceived. And so that was 3 months into us dating.
Yeah.
And we've been locked in ever since.
Oh my goodness. That is bananas. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I love it though. It's so
Yes.
fun. Not the
It,
serenade. You messed me up with that. That is hilarious.
yes.
So tell me, what is it when you say, we were immediately locked in? At what point when you guys were dating did you say, I could do the rest of my life with him?
Honestly, I can't even say it was once I got pregnant because we still were like really getting to know each other throughout my pregnancy.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like the moment when I knew is when I kind of start going through some hardships and just like some mental depression things on my own when
Mhm.
it came to and now this is mind you, this is around like COVID time, to where I felt like the world was shutting down and we was going through some stuff. And so COVID time sent me through a depression.
Mhm.
Because my background is in physical therapy, so I work in the healthcare field. Uh, I was being around a lot of patients who were just dying from, COVID, and then I had a newborn, or I had, and I'm still having to go into work and being afraid to even they were making us treat COVID patients. So I went through a really dark space to where I just like dropped everything. Um, and he, no matter how much weight they had put on his back, to see how supportive and how there for me he was, like that's when I realized, like, man, this man really. I don't know if y'all seen this uh video about Sierra the singer. She'll have this thing where she's saying like that man got my back,
Mhm.
talking about her husband Russell. Like that's when I had that epiphany moment with him, and it was like, man, he really has my back. Like he is my biggest supporter, biggest cheerleader. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I have never experienced that. And that's when I knew, like, yeah, I could definitely do life with him.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to tap a little bit on um the what your mental state might have been when you got pregnant, especially after dating like 3 months and
Oh.
already having that experience with somebody who you didn't
Mm-hmm.
in a lifelong relationship with. Like, what was your thinking? Because I just think about women out there who, may be with somebody and then, you find yourself in this position where you're pregnant and you maybe not even sure you want to do life with
Yeah.
this Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
what that might do to you mentally, like what type of thoughts and decisions that you had to make at that time?
Yeah. So I can say like initially it was kind of like at first it wasn't a surreal moment. Like I think when me and him both kind of found out, we were just like, oh, okay, cool. Like what? Because we had already been rocking and like we had got clicked tight like early on, like
Yeah.
almost with each other every day. So we felt like we were like super locked in already.
Mm.
And I think as the months went by and I'm pregnant and now we're getting to the space where it's like, are we supposed to move in with each other now? Or how serious do we get? We never really made it official.
Yeah.
What now real conversations are being talked about? Like what's gonna happen when this baby is born?
Mm.
What's the dynamics between me and you? That's when I think my mental shifted because I felt like at the time
Mhm.
I reality kicked in for him too. And at first it was like we had all I tell everybody all the time, we were a go with the flow couple. Like that was the most funnest time period in the beginning of our relationship because we went with the flow, right? But now reality is kicking in. We can't just go with the flow. And I think for him, in his head, he felt like, oh, we still can just go with the flow. And I'm like, no, we are about to have a baby. Like, are
Yeah.
we locked in? Are we gonna be together? Or what now what it is? What is it? Because all this time we never put a title on us.
Mhm.
You know, and so
How did he
and
feel
then
about that when you start getting serious?
you know what? I think the world started getting serious to both of us before I actually did. We were getting the pressure from the outside people
Oh, okay.
asking us questions before I even started initiating the questions.
Mhm.
And that's what made me honestly start initiating the questions.
Yeah.
But what I can say is he took it and he did not uh can I curse on here or no? Do we not?
Girl, go say
I'm gonna not curse it. Well, okay, because the word I want to say is he did not act like no bitch ass man about it. Like honestly, that
Okay,
and
I
and
love it.
that made me fall even harder because I'm
Yeah,
like, man, we barely knew each other. He's
yeah.
taking it and like he want to do this family stuff, right?
Mm,
He was all for it.
mm,
And that wasn't the dynamics I thought because we both have been through having children before. He
mhm,
had one child, I had one child. We didn't have the best experiences, right?
mhm.
So the what mentally started getting me is I'm wanting to make sure he didn't look at me the same way he looked at his previous relationships as to women who want to have a kid by somebody who
Right,
was in that space
right.
because we got pregnant so early. That
Mm.
was a fear of mine that he might have thought.
That's a real thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And so, but how he handled it, like it was surprisingly pleasant. Honestly, like it was very comforting. It was, what do you want to do?
mm,
Okay, we made this decision. Let's roll with it. Like it wasn't oh, we're having a baby, so now we have to be together. I
yeah.
think we genuinely wanted to try this relationship out, and it just naturally just like took off from there. Baby or no baby, honestly.
Okay. I love
Yeah.
it. I love his response. Like that
I
that
do too, because you don't get that a lot in
yeah.
jail.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think that was really a blessing for me. I'm not gonna lie, because I think my mental could have been way worse if I got a different response.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. If because for some people that might have some men that might have flipped the script like, oh, I wasn't ready for it to
exactly,
go that deep, I was
exactly.
just having fun,
But
that
at the same time, it's like take responsibility and accountability, sir.
that's
You knew what type of fun we were having,
right. Right. And you knew
so
what could come from the fun.
exactly,
So
especially because you already been there, done that. It ain't like this was the first.
yeah, right. Yeah.
So
So he did
yeah,
well. He did.
he
I'm
did.
very glad that, but I know him now, so I know
Yeah.
I expect nothing less.
Yes.
Stories.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, okay, so you guys transitioned from, hanging out, having fun, becoming parents. Where did your life journey go from there? Like at what point, like what was the decision? Is that when you guys said, well, we should move together and whose idea was that?
So it just okay, so this is how it happened. Ironically, so I was the space that I was in, I had bought a house originally in my past relationship, but the house was in my name, so I still had it. But it was just me and my son at the time. I didn't feel like me and my son needed a big old 4-bedroom home. I moved back in with my mom and I rented my house out. So when
Okay.
I met Lawrence, I was living with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And literally when as we met, I was in the process of renting out a condo, but he was in another space. So it was time for both of us to be moving from where we were at. So
Gotcha.
it naturally timed out, right? And we were both kind of looking at each other like, okay, do we want to try it out and just rent a home first?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we did. So we rented a house. The minute LJ was born, we basically rented a home. That's when we said, okay, we're gonna try this blended family thing because now we went from each of us just only having to deal with one kid to now we a blended family of 5.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge change. But
Yeah.
we tried it. And so we rented a home for that first year. We
Mm-hmm.
went through the bumps and bruises within that first year because we were still getting to know each other, still with a newborn baby and 2 other kids,
Woo.
with a family of 5, still getting to know each other. So
Woo.
we dealt with a lot. We dealt with, okay, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm used to being like the head of my household.
Of course.
And of course, and obviously he is too. So it's like we kind of clashed a lot with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we didn't have the conversations on expectations of each other because now we got to do things financially together. So
Mm-hmm.
now the question is, well, who's paying for what? Who's covering who? He's skeptical because he wants to make sure. I'm just wanting to make sure. Now he didn't say this, but this is what it was. I want to make sure you don't think like, oh, I'm just supposed to foot the bill for everything just because who I am. Like, did you only want me for this? Do
Yeah.
you just want me to financially take care of you? Da da da. So now his mindset is like, oh, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? But at this time, it's like we got a baby now. We moved in. Listen, it's a gospel.
Yeah.
So, but we went through that whole first year of, okay, without me, because my pride wouldn't allow me to let him even take care of me, even if that was the case. It's
Mm.
like, nah, I'm gonna give you half on everything. I'm gonna do this, and him naturally, because he's still getting to know me and the type of woman I am. He like, okay, and he's accepting the like he's, and so it got to a point where it's like we're literally arguing about who's supposed to get the paper towels of the house. Like, so we're still
Wow.
so this is all with the newborn baby. And
Yeah.
so we're literally like learning each other this entire time
Mm.
and just learning how we mesh together on a real life relationship.
Yeah.
Because we were just kicking it at first, having fun. And we
Mm.
thought we was locked in best friends during that period. But
Yeah.
now this is responsibilities are kicking in. Who's taking care of what? Who's getting up with the baby? Who's putting the baby to sleep? Is
Yeah.
it expected for him to help me clean bottles? Like all of this happened. So we had life really smack us in our face all at like one time.
Yeah.
Not only that, we're dealing with the blendedness of a family, which that was hard in itself.
Right. And he was retired, but how far out was he? Was that also a challenge dealing with the mental state of him?
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so. So he had been out when we met. He had been out, I want to say, about 6 or 7 years. And
Mm,
so it had been a while, but you got to think about it. When he got out, it wasn't like he was a completing. He didn't let it register that he was completely out until 3 years from then.
yeah.
And so all 3 years, it's like, oh, I'm still doing what I need to do with the thoughts of I'm getting back in.
Wow.
So his healing started way later than once he got out. So when I got with him, he was still in the midst of it,
Yeah.
of healing from this is not who I am anymore. I'm not this. I'm not in the league anymore. I'm not playing ball how I want to. This is all I ever wanted to do for all my life. Now here I am. I got a whole family and these things, and I'm learning a whole person with a whole new child. But
Mhm.
he's still mentally dealing with all of the mental things he had already been dealing with
Yeah.
from playing in the league. And so that took a huge toll on the probably the first uh half of our relationship, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like a huge toll.
Yeah. I could see that. You already know we
Yeah.
around this game, and just through our sisterhood, and so it with NFWA trying to support other women
Hmm.
through the transitional phases. We
Yeah.
we get it.
Yeah.
And like I say, on other episodes, in case somebody's watching today who hasn't, this, even though being in the NFL is unique, but the issue is not unique. If you are let go from a job before you are ready to stop doing that job, or when you thought you were still performing well at that job, but politics or whatever has
Hmm.
caused some or some separation, finances, or whatever that may be, that's hard, you know.
Very hard.
And I can't say that everybody goes through getting fired at some point in time, but I think everybody could relate to how it would feel and impact you if you were fired, especially from a good job, and
Right.
with no hope of getting that type of job again. Like, yeah,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
rough.
And I think it's rough for anybody, right? Anybody who stops playing unexpectedly. It's rough for all of them. But let's not get it twisted. Like Lawrence was a number one draft pick. So we're
Period.
not so we're not talking about somebody who like it was hard for them to get picked up on teams or nothing like that. He was a draft pick, a number one draft pick. And so
Round.
I think how it transitioned of him going out the league, a lot of it could have been politics. A lot of it could have just been wrong era of time because, we don't have to talk about it on here, but if anybody looks it up, it's like the things that he got in trouble for, which made him essentially not be in the league anymore because it was like a lockout period and then his contract was over and then you get in trouble. Your name makes headlines for things that players are making headlines all day long nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just the era that he was in. How he got out of the league was so abrupt. It hit him way harder
Yeah.
because he like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had to deal with still the mental of that when me and him got together. I didn't know it was as severe as it was until we actually became like locked in as one family.
Mhm. And what would you say helped you navigate that time period of him going through that, being in a newer relationship, having a new baby? What would you say to another wife that may have or may be currently going through that situation? What advice would you give them?
Honestly, patience. I'm not gonna lie, like to have some patience. And that's easier said than done. And it sounds very cliche because I did not have the best patience in the world, but it took for me to really understand his mindset. And that's when we really start seeking out like therapy. Like I know a lot of people say it, but therapy has really saved us. It has saved him. And when I start realizing like how his mind works and I think you have to understand your person too,
Yeah.
right? You have to kind of really tap into their world and their mentality. You got to kind of put yourself. I know we feel like we got to always put ourselves on the back burner, but in that space, we don't even know the half, Michelle, of where their mind is at. And so I had to really put myself to the side and really tap into Lawrence only. And what does Lawrence need mentally so that he can be the protector and the provider for our family and be the head of the household for our family. I
Yeah.
started seeing how his brain would flutter and light up anytime we were around football, anything. Anytime we went back to his college, they freaking love him out there. Like anytime we did anything in that world, I started seeing how he would light up, right? It dawned on me he's still dealing with things mentally.
Yeah.
Let's create our foundation and get it back running. And that's how we started with the athlete mental health awareness.
Wow.
That's how we really brought about the foundation. And I started making it focus solely towards athletes. And we started being surrounded by nothing but players and athletes and things like that.
Mhm.
It made him light up.
Yeah.
That spark granted, it's not the same spark as it is while he was playing, but I saw that spark start coming back to him. He
Yeah.
started going to therapy. I saw that started letting him get what was in her out. He
Yes.
started being around other like-minded players who understand that because when I met him, he had said F the league. He had said F football,
Yeah.
whoever was associated with it.
Yeah. That's
You know,
common.
and he just was back around the people he was with in St. Louis. But it's like once he started getting back around in that world, it just made his mental feel more at ease. And then, of course, when the little ones started getting to an age where he could play ball, it's like, oh, he felt like he reliving all over again. So
Right, my boy.
yeah,
I
and
love
it's
it.
like, granted, I do still feel like sometimes I'm still like in the background, but it's like, girl, I have to get over myself. I know all that I'm doing, and I know I'm really the one running this ship. To be honest with you, like,
Yeah.
let's be for real. But it's I really did have to understand where he was at that moment, at that time, how it could have affected his mental. And I just kind of had to be patient and really put myself to the side in my feelings
Yeah.
and kind of allow him that space.
I really want to just reiterate what I'm hearing that's coming up in this story, which is the importance of, like you said, knowing your person, but having the patience, the empathy, the compassion
Yes,
to really see them, because the answer is in the viewing. And so what you saw was, even though playing in the NFL was over, football still carried a special place in his heart, and you discovered this way of reconnecting him with the game.
yep,
And through that nonprofit, no, it won't be the same, but it gives him another opportunity to be associated with the game. It gives him a reason to
exactly.
invite some former teammates in to be a part of it, and
Yep.
he's doing great things in a community that loves him. I mean, all of that is a win. And let me tell you what else is a win. It's a win that you are leading the charge. It's a win, the discovery. And no matter how difficult and heavy it may be for us, we have to recognize our strengths and what we bring to the table and embrace those things.
Yes.
May be the face and all that entails, because that's a lot within itself, to be
Right.
available to people, hobnobbing, talking, kissing babies.
Yeah.
You may not even feel like being social, but you have to, because that's part of the gig.
Yep.
And especially because, and I don't know, you tell me, he seems like he's an actual introvert. Is he an introvert?
He's both,
He's
honestly.
an
It's
ambivert. Okay.
yep. Mhm.
Cool. So, to have to do that on a day where he may not be up to it, that's
Because that happens.
right. Yeah, and we'll talk some more about building that team around you, so
Yeah.
you feel supported, so you don't feel overwhelmed. But
Mhm.
the point is I think, in my opinion, I see what you're doing, sis, and I think you're doing a lot of things
Thank
right.
you.
And I hope you're patting yourself on the back, because we do wear a lot of hats as wives, but I'm not sure we are recognizing it as strengths and patting ourselves on the back for bringing our strengths to the table.
We don't.
Yeah.
And I can acknowledge that I know I don't. Sometimes I sit and ask, am I fulfilling my purpose? A lot of times, and it takes for somebody else to point out all that I am doing. And for, like you just said, I hope you're patting yourself on the back. Sometimes I forget to. Reality is, I really forget to at times, and I feel like, dang, I am always doing stuff to put his mental and his feelings or needs or whatever up front. But then, those moments come and he reminds me, like, whatever it is, again, that's where that I told you he supports me. Whenever it is that I want to put myself in the forefront, he's okay with taking a back seat and cheering me on the entire time.
I love it.
So yes.
What's up? Teamwork at its best.
Yes.
So I want to ask you something
Okay.
that I'm just not sure about. We've never had this conversation. So you guys have been together 8 years. Have you not wanted to get married in 8 years, or have you just been patiently waiting for him to ask the question?
Oh, I've been wanting to.
Mhm,
Don't get it twisted. I
mhm,
was more so patiently waiting on him to ask a question. But I'll be honest, Michelle, it's never been like a huge topic of conversation for me and him. It's always been the outside where, the world puts that expectation on you to feel like, oh, y'all been together this long. When y'all getting married, right?
mhm,
And I think it didn't, I was being patient because, again, I I told you we were a go with the flow relationship. So I was enjoying us and our all of our phases of our relationship and where we were at. I think the outside world got in my ear though. I'm not gonna lie. And then we started attending so many weddings. And I was like, oh my God, if I attend another wedding and I ain't got a ring on my finger, we gonna have a problem. Like I'm getting irritated now. What are
yeah,
we doing? But
yeah,
I would never bring it up in a way with him. Like it never was a forceful conversation. So that's the part I am happy about is that like it wasn't I put the pressure on him
mhm,
because he wasn't letting nobody put no pressure on him. I'm gonna tell you that. It's like he was going doing it when he was doing it.
yeah,
But so I did. I think probably a year 5 I was ready to honestly, but it's like we had to, go through our things and we had to really like get to the space that we're at. And I always feel like things happen when they're supposed to happen. Like God don't make no mistakes. So it panned out how it was supposed to. Honestly, I'm very grateful that we did wait until when we did, to be honest with you. Like I can appreciate the wait now.
okay,
I couldn't during the wait,
yeah,
but with everything in all of our phases of our relationship, I can appreciate where we are at now that
mhm.
we waited until this moment to like make that move.
And so, do tell why are you, oh, like, I appreciate it now at this point.
Because it took so again, we were learning each other throughout the entire time. It took some it to me, and I'm not saying this is everybody, but I feel like a lot of people they're so quick and they want to get married so quick. You got people that we know people that have gotten married 2 years in, 1 year in, just like super early on. And it to me, I feel like okay, you're married, but you're still learning each other throughout this process. But now you married. I didn't heard that divorce word come up too many times, right? Because it's like you're still learning this other person during your marriage.
Mhm,
For
mhm,
me and him, granted, we're always growing, we're always evolving, but for me and him, we went through great times, we went through horrible times. I'm not saying just marriage is gonna make us not go through any more bad times, but we've learned each other so much so before making this major commitment because this is a major commitment. It's not just a piece of paper. Like this is a huge thing for us, right? This
mhm,
ain't nothing that we trying to do again. And so prior to making that, I feel like we went through all of the bumps and bruises and learning each other and knowing our expectations and knowing who we are as individuals, knowing who we are together, how we work together, how we grieve together, how we handle issues. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think we learned all of that prior to. So now going into a marriage, there's no question like, dang, this who you really are? Had I known this, XYZ, XYZ, like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um, there were immaturities on both of our sides that we had that I'm happy happened prior to us getting married, versus while we're in our marriage. Because to me, like marriage is a sacred thing. So I for sure would want us to go into our marriage knowing that it's strictly me and him,
yeah,
you know? And
mhm,
so that's why I say I can appreciate like our weight because I feel like those things we had to go through a lot of the downs that we went through. We had to go through a lot of the immaturity phases that we went through.
mhm,
We had to learn each other way more. And I would have rather done that during the us dating or whatever the phase is called before marriage versus getting married and then still having these issues. And because immaturity is kicking in, we're
yeah,
constantly throwing up this divorce word or we're constantly like, just I want that to be such a sacred phase in our life like that we're not even gonna go these directions that we did before.
yeah. Did you ever have a fear that because you weren't married that, he may leave or the relationship may end?
For sure. That was a huge thing for me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, because we were moving as if we were married, but we were not married. And so I had a huge fear. And I can be honest, it wasn't even so much that he may leave me. It was some of that, but a lot of it too was, what if something happened to him? Okay, I'll be honest. So after my grandmother passed, that was my heart. I got fixated on death and being prepared for whenever it happens, right? And so for a whole year, I'm like trying to get all my affairs in order as if I'm sick or something's gonna happen to me soon or whatever. He
Mhm.
can understand it because, and he's like, "What? I'm not going nowhere no time soon." But in my head, it's like, "You don't know that. I don't know that. Let's make sure everything is prepared."
Yeah.
And so I started making sure we got our trust in order and things like that. But again, we were still learning each other. That was a conversation we had never had prior to me just springing it on him. Like, let's get some trust. So I got this attorney and da da da, and she's asking us questions. One of the questions was about the house that we're living in. I didn't like the response I got because it's like, oh, well, the house is gonna go into my trust and whatever proceeds will go to my kids, da da da. Like, I was completely not involved in any of it.
Mm.
It hurt me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And that was when I found out his mindset was, well, we not married. And so I'm like, dang. So normally, naturally, any woman would be like, okay, well then we need to get married because I don't like if that's how you looking at me, like we need to get
Right.
married. What's going on? Because so now this attorney is watching us like literally argue because we had never had that conversation.
Uh-huh.
And so that because it hurt me. I'm not gonna hurt me to my core. And because obviously, so the house we're in, beautiful home. I felt like this as much as my home as it is his. Granted, we got this home together, but this was a home that Lawrence just outright bought, right? He was done with like mortgages and all that stuff. He has a fear of banks or, all of that just from past life, but he wanted to buy it outright. So in his mind, it's like, oh, I bought it. So naturally it's gonna go to my kids. And to me, I'm like, I made this a home. Why wouldn't you include me in this? Because we're not married? That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And so I had to kind of eat that because it's like still me feeling that way. That didn't make him rush to want to marry me even more. It probably was another 3 years went by before we actually got engaged or whatever. But I don't
Ooh.
remember what. Yeah, that was hard. I don't even know. I honestly, I don't have an answer for that one because it's like that was just a tough period. It's like
Yeah.
because yes, I have had that fear of like, okay, if you decided to want to leave or if anything ever happened to you, like I want to make sure like where we are at and what the lifestyle that we have created that can continue.
Right.
That's not fair to me that it's, you know what I'm saying, that I'm not being set up in that space to where it can.
Yeah.
And so that was my mindset at the time. And it took for us to literally, again, learn each other, therapy, talk through how does this work on both sides for him to hear it and for me to hear it, for us to get it situated how it needs to be situated.
Yeah.
It's still sometimes a struggle because naturally, because he's already dealt with this, he still, at times, we're all human. So in the back of his brain, it's like, a fear factor, like, oh, I want to make sure she ain't just with me for this because you got to think about it because I handle so much. It's like I know everything too.
Yeah.
I know all of the assets. I know all of everything, and he's comfortable enough to share all that with me. But still, at the same time, it's like I'm trusting you. I hope this ain't the reason that you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, it's a lot of layers to the concept of marriage. It's so
yes,
many layers to that. Just personally, but also legally.
hmm,
Like even I think about going to the if you gotta go to the emergency room, if they would let you in, if you're not married, they have
right,
to not let you in.
yes,
And so just things like that, I'm like you, I could kind of get obsessed at this
yes,
season of my life with things around death, um,
yes,
having things in order. But no, I think, it's fair for you to have all those things. And now in this day and age, I do feel like people take marriage lightly. Like they have a strong disinterest in marriage, this younger generation, and it kind of
They
breaks my
do.
heart because that hurts the woman more than it hurts
Way more.
the guy. I mean, I just remember as a kid doodling, this boy who I was crushing on and look write my name and his last name, like, do that even sound right?
Right.
I remember dating a guy in my in college years, and once I found out his last name, I was like, I don't want that to be my, like, you know what I mean? Like things like
Oh,
that,
that's funny.
the simplest of things, but then
Yeah.
those more serious things,
Yes.
we have to consider, but I also feel as a woman, it's our job to consider those things. So,
Yes. You know what I started thinking about,
mm,
Michelle?
what?
If something ever happened to him, and I hated that I used to think this way, but again, my granny had just passed, so I'm fixated on death. And I'm like, if something ever happened to him, that would hurt me to my soul to be included in an obituary as the special friend. Like, what? I
Yeah,
created a life with you. It's like,
yeah,
no, I deserve way more acknowledgement than that.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So yeah, but listen, at the end of the day, you about to cross that line next
oh
May.
yeah, we're gonna cross that line.
I'm so happy for you.
Yes.
And for both of you guys,
Thank
because
you.
I'm happy he got to the place that he recognized the importance and the value
Yes.
of even if you don't get on the knee, but just making the ask,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what that does for you and for your family futuristically.
Yes.
If nothing else, we're always living examples to our children. And
For a fact.
you want your boys to know that dad was so committed to mom that he asked her to marry him.
Exactly. Girl, my son, the one we don't have together, would constantly keep asking me, like, Ma, when you and Lawrence gonna get married? Girl, I would send him down in that basement to go. I was like, go ask Lawrence and see what he said.
Right. I love the protective son.
Yes,
He
he's
like,
not playing.
you all up in my mama face. What's going on?
Right. What's going on, man?
What's
When
going
you
on?
marrying my mama?
Right. Oh wow. I love that. Kids notice everything.
They do. They do. And
Everything.
they do. And so it's like he's already was looking at him like he's knows he's like, oh yeah, that's my stepdad. Da, da, da. Like he naturally has created that bond with him too. So he like, okay, the only thing we missing is y'all ain't married. When you making that happen?
Yeah.
So
Woo. So, okay. Now, one of the things I mentioned earlier is your social media persona and how
mhm,
real and raw and authentic it is. I love it. So, you are this business partner with your husband flipping properties. You're this business partner with your girlfriend partnering luxury real estate with
mhm.
clients. You're the marketing manager for NFWA. You're a mother of two. You're managing your household. You are
Yeah.
chief home manager
Oh yes.
in the home. And let me just say, y'all, they got a Chris nib. So that's a lot to keep up with.
Yes.
So, how do you keep, a healthy mental well-being and manage all of that at the same time? I hesitate to use the word balance, but let's
Yeah.
how do you balance
Okay.
all of that at the same time?
Okay. So the truth is, I'm gonna be honest, because since we threw that word balance out there, it's like, and I don't know if you saw me say it on before on my social media, I had to realize balance is a myth. It's like it's impossible to say, oh, I'm balancing all of this,
Yeah,
right? I had to let go, like I still use the word, but I had to let go of the expectation that I'm supposed to balance all of this to perfection without busting a sweat, still looking good, still making sure house is clean, food is on the table for these kids, businesses is running smoothly, foundation is running properly. I had to let go of the reality that that's a thing, right?
Yeah.
But social media, what I can say is I had to also let go of the persona that I wanted to show up perfect.
Mm. Woo, you can say that again.
Yeah. And once I let go of that, Michelle, when I say my peace, my mindset has cleared so much. Like I have gotten my peace back. It tore me up feeling like I had to follow the narrative that social media was putting out there.
Mm.
And y'all, everybody know what that narrative is. It's like you want to show up as this big boss, whoever, whatever field you in, and your brand is perfect. You make running a multi-million-dollar company, and you have no flaws. You grinding. You just living this soft girl era all day, every day. Ooh, vacation, waking up to flowers, and it's like, girl, that is not it. Like, flip your screen around. You're gonna see your living room look crazy. It's a mess. These kids is running around. It's like,
Yeah.
but social media had me at one point feeling like that it was reality. It had me feeling like, no, I gotta be like this for me to feel fulfilled and and feeling like that I'm doing things and I'm living in my purpose and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right?
Mm.
I base my success off of social media
Yeah.
and how people were showing up on social media. And once I got a clue, I was like, girl, are you insane? Once my connection with God started coming back, right? Because I felt lost at a time. And so once I started really getting back in that space where my spirituality was just evolving,
Yes.
I'm like, girl, you are like worshiping social media, feeling like you have to show up like this. And
Woo.
it's draining you. I
Yeah.
was drained mentally, physically. My man started noticing, but he was trying to still cover for me, making sure the kids good, got the practice, got the food. Granted, he was DoorDash and everything, but it's still like he was gonna make sure we ate.
Right, right.
My kids, they wondering like, why you always mad? You always angry? It's because I was trying to build this perfect life, and I thought it had to look perfect. Girl, reality is it is not perfect. It is chaos at times. Balancing is a myth, and so once I stop living up to the expectation of social media and I start living in my truth and my real and rawness and what I do, I realize I'm really that girl.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing, it's like a lot of people need to see the reality behind taking on all of this. I feel like I have gotten so much more positive feedback by showing my authentic self, by
Yeah.
coming on there and showing the reality behind everything that I'm doing. It has made people feel like, whew, okay, that's good to see that you deal with that, or you feel like that too, or whatever. Because now they feel like, dang, okay, that's real. That's real. I don't gotta feel like I gotta be this superstar waking up driving a Lamborghini down the street every day. Like,
Yeah.
so I think once I got to that point in life, it's still a challenge. Don't get me wrong. I still have days where I'm like, girl, get off social media for a minute. You own her too much, and
Mhm.
it's starting to start sinking you down again because you feel like you're not where you need to be at.
Yeah.
But I am. I am where I need to be. Everything is where it needs to be. God ain't say, look at social media, that's where I'm gonna take you. You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying?
That is the
So I had to wake up and realize that it's like, girl, you gonna go where you supposed to go. God
yeah.
gonna open the doors that's supposed to get open.
Mhm.
What I can say is I can appreciate social media in me. The only thing I can take as a positive from that is because it made me open myself up more to the possibilities of things. Michelle, I met y'all because of social media. To
Yeah.
be honest, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? A lot of my connections I met was because of social media and me not just being afraid to put myself out there and be real
Mhm.
and raw. And I feel like people can appreciate that. I mean, y'all appreciate it, right?
Yeah. For sure.
Like,
Absolutely, for sure.
so
And you listen,
yeah.
I'm looking at your shirt and you really are her.
Yeah, okay.
You really are her. No, seriously, like I think the first time that we really had an in-depth conversation that wasn't just about NFWA was when you posted like, I'm tired and
I'm
I'm gonna pick
mentally
up this
exhausted.
room, but them other rooms might not get picked up today.
Right. And it's okay.
Yeah, and I just want you to know I appreciate you coming at me on my own podcast like that.
Thank you.
Just
Yeah.
that, like, because I am that person. Like, if my face ain't and all this, like, I did this whole 6-minute video. I was like, I'm gonna chop it up and I'm gonna post it. Girl, it's still sitting in my what you call me, a photo hoarder. You're like,
Yeah.
you are a photo hoarder because I'm doing all these things, going all
Yes.
these places, and making all these videos and pictures and all this stuff. And girl, they sit right on my
I
phone because
know.
I look at them and I begin to be my worst critic, and then I say,
Yep.
no, I'm not posting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And that's what we do. And that's what we do. Like sometimes you got to get out of that mindset, though, Michelle.
You got to get out your own way.
You have to get out your own way.
I love, y'all see how she coming for me?
Listen, it be your own people.
If you know, oh, that's what I'm talking about. But no, I appreciate that, and I hope some of the listeners and viewers are picking up what you're putting down too, because
Yeah.
this is huge. Like, this is
Yeah.
so heavy, but it's so powerful that
Mm-hmm.
we need to recognize that if we really want to accept truth, being perfect on social media is not where it's at. Like, people want to
At
see
all.
genuine people living genuine lives. And that's where you find your greatest success,
Exactly. Exactly.
You know,
You said it perfectly.
look, I'm gonna get there one of these days. But the point is that we have to just embrace our life,
Yeah.
and embrace ourselves and who we are and who God created us to be.
Exactly.
And embrace your t-shirt. We really are her. We're really
Yes.
her,
Yes.
and,
Seriously.
and give ourselves grace, but give ourselves love. Every time I say that term, Michelle, you're really her. Like, I feel like a little hug.
Don't you? Right?
Like, oh man,
Right.
I'm gonna have to
Give
get me
yourself
one of
grace
those.
and give yourself love. Oh, those are so small but powerful words.
Yeah.
Giving yourself grace and love. I love that.
Yeah. So when you think about wife for life, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
my last question for you, and then we're gonna wrap it up. When you think
Okay.
about that term and what it looks like, what it sounds like, all that it entails, tell me, what would you say a wife for life is?
Whew, a wife for life. Oh my God. And this is what I aspire to be. Um, honestly, a wife for life to me is a woman who literally can, I know we just said balance is a myth, right? But a woman who can take all of that and handle it while still being able to be in her softness, right? Because she's so protected and loved by her supportive husband. A wife for life is someone who is physically, emotionally there, and mentally there for their family. Someone who's proactive and putting their family first, but also still making sure that the business still excels. Someone who is making sure that she's creating safe spaces for her husband, right? Because they need to be heard too.
Yeah.
And they need to understand that we understand that the weight falls on y'all a lot of the weight of the world, but creating that safe space for them to even be soft, you
Yeah.
know, making sure your household can be filled with love, positivity. We not always perfect, but to me, I feel like a wife for life is someone who can handle all of that gracefully while still being able to sit back and be in her soft girl era.
Yeah. I love it. I love every bit of what you said. I just, we can embody, to me, everything you said is in alignment with Proverbs 31 woman.
What is that?
Proverbs 31 woman. When you go into
Oh,
Proverbs
what is that?
31,
Okay.
at the end of the chapter, you'll see all these characteristics that a wife should embody.
Mm-hmm.
And women used to stress out, like, I can't be all of this. This is
Mm-hmm.
too much. But it's not meant, and this is where that balance word comes in. It was never meant for you to be all of that at the same
At
time.
once, that part.
You know what I mean? But in any given season of life, situation, experience, encounter, you could be one or multiple of those things, you know.
Hmm.
And so when you look at it holistically and you desire to achieve those things, I think God automatically gives you the wherewithal, the patience, the, you know,
Yes.
compassion, the empathy, the love, the respect that men desire. I think he gives you all of that. And let's be clear, like you said, not to perfection,
Yeah.
but for you to work it to be perfected. And that's what it's all about. Just growing,
Exactly.
you know,
Just
just
growing.
transforming
Yep.
into that woman who God called you to be. So
Exactly.
yeah, but yeah, we're gonna have a sidebar on that Proverbs 31.
Yeah.
For real, for real.
Yeah, I would love that because it's not a to me, I was that woman who said, I can't be all of this at once. Like I can't do all of this. Lawrence is a very traditional man. And I think in this world, it's so hard for us as women to be traditional women because naturally, I am a businesswoman too. So I take on and I handle the business. Like I'll be honest, I allow my man, he don't have to think sometimes because it's like I literally handle all of that stuff
Yeah.
for us. So it's hard for me to still be this traditional woman. He calls me a modern woman sometimes, but it is what it is. So I'm trying to find a good balance within the both because I know he wants to be a traditional man. He wants to take care of his household. So I feel like the least, again, this is that evolving thing because my immaturity and the immature Briante, I used to be like, I don't care. No, I'm going to go get this money myself. We going to share the responsibility financially. So I ain't got to do all the household stuff myself or whatever, whatever.
Right, right,
That was my thought, right? That's
right.
not how it works though. Now it's like Michelle, I wake up and I enjoy making them breakfast, whether it's a small something before the kids go off to school.
Mhm.
I enjoy making sure my household is clean. Granted, I ain't the one that's always cleaning it 100%. Like I'ma hire some help,
Come on.
but I'm also get these kids to start together and like helping them show them how to do things.
Mhm.
The laundry, I used to feel like, oh, I'm not gonna do all of our laundry by myself. Like this is crazy to me. I've developed a system. It's not a finish line to all of this, right? It's just like, just develop a system and start. Like that to me is what Wife for Life is. It's like, okay, I know on this day I'm gonna start tackling laundry. He didn't say, oh, you better have it all done within this week.
Right.
He's not like he's not pressuring me to get all of this done. It's just this is who I am involving into. I want to make sure my family is fed at nighttime and we don't got to order DoorDash fast food every day. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? These are things that starting to fulfill me.
Yeah.
So that's when I start learning I'm involving myself and I am transitioning into that Wife for Life.
There you
Girl,
go. That's what's up. That's what's up. Because oftentimes we probably put more pressure on ourselves than our
we
spouses.
do.
Hmm.
We do.
Yeah. So yes. So keep going. And hey, I can't wait till next May.
I know.
I submitted my RSVP.
Thank you.
We are flying in and looking forward to a good time celebrating you
Amen.
too. And I just want to thank you again for being on the podcast. I have enjoyed you so much, and I just
Thank
feel like
you.
we could go on and on and on, and may have to do a round two.
Yeah.
With some more, some post marriage, and then you can
Yes.
other things with that. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But in the meantime, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look, you were phenomenal. And I want to thank you guys too for tuning in, whether you're listening or you're watching. Thank you so much. And if you enjoyed what you heard, please share it, like it, subscribe, follow, do all those things that will help us continue on to be here for other women that are going through similar situations. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Briante, again for being
Thank you.
listen up. Come back again for the next episode of Wife for Life. It's been a wonderful time. And until the next time, happy loving.